Do 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 do. Do 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 do. How's everybody doing? How you doing? Hello. I don't have excuse me. I don't have a ton of time to. I thought I was gonna have a lot more time to stream, but I think I could definitely get at least an hour and a couple minutes in. But I don't. I was planning to not have a time limit on this stream, but I have around like an hour and a half from now. I do got something I have to do, so I'm gonna try and get as much done in that time as possible. And I hope you guys are all doing good. Hope everybody's doing good. Make sure I got my concept there up so I don't go rogue with this. There we go. Okie dokie. That's about the right idea. Okay. So I've already got the initial wave here. Oh. Might be a good idea to add symmetry. At least on the upside of where I'm at right here, I can do symmetry. Asymmetrical stuff I can do later. Okay. So we've already got our good initial start there. Looks like Jenny and Pierce were in earlier, but they helped out. Oh, hopefully they're doing good. Hey, Noah. Blat. Interesting opening statement. How you doing? You guys hear me? I'm muted, am I? No, it doesn't say I'm muted. Huh. Boogie. I don't know. Just don't want to be cooperative, I guess. Ah. Well, that would definitely make it harder to paint. That or make painting all the more engaging, I would suspect. Like I've only been stoned once in my entire life. But yeah, I can imagine like if you're like super stoned, you would be like hyper obsessing about this one particular like stroke. then when you try and go for it, the paint is dry on the end of the brush. You're like, what? You look at the clock and you've been holding it there for like 25 minutes. What an amazing afternoon that would be. Hey Matthew. Hey, welcome back, Jenny. Did you paint that yellow enough? Paint what yellow enough? Yeah, I'm kind of happy I finally got one of the ghouls done. Took forever to do. It'll be faster to do the other variations now that I got bits and bobs I can just take from the first one and replicate them over. But it's still gonna take time to do the others. Yay! How it goes? It goes pretty good. Yay for being a one-man show. What? Eh? Yes, there is but one me. For now. I'm working on that. Cloning technology hasn't sufficiently caught up to my needs, but we'll get there. I have faith. I have faith that they will at some point do that. Ask Krieg for the cloning tech. I mean, thing is, they don't exactly clone. They use vitae wombs, which is artificial wombs, which is supposed to be not as clean. It's supposed to be a little bit more horrific of a process. At least it's implied to be. We still don't even know exactly what vitae wombs are. It's described as a technique in the lore, which concerns me. Because if it's a technique, what does that mean? Like, obviously it's not like a cloning vat. So what is a vitae womb? I'm kind of horrified to think what it could be. The Kaminoans? I mean, I would ask them about cloning way before the Kriegsmen. Because the Kriegsmen, I'm scared they'd be taking me into a creepy dark room where there'd be no return. Just saying. The A-Team song has been stuck in my head all day, and I can't tell you why. I haven't watched a single episode of the old school A-Team since I was 13, since I was 13. I've seen clips of it like when walking by my dad in the living room if he's like in a nostalgic mood and he watches it, but outside of that, I do not watch the A-Team. But yet, the theme is there in the old noggin. He knows too much. Exactly. I do know too much, actually. With how much I have, like, delved into the lore of 40K, either for video content or otherwise, yeah, I'd say, like, in universe, I would probably be dealt with by now. Yeah, it's much more what I'm looking for. It's a honkin' brute at the great. I'm actually kind of impressed with myself. I am putting this together much quicker than I normally do. Obviously, due credit to Pierce's artwork, especially with how detailed it is. But normally I take a bit more time while I'm working on this shit, but I'm actually making progress here. I maybe some of it's coming from the fact that I am in a slight rush. So I'm trying to make some progress. It just gave you the notification for the stream. Oh, how nice of YouTube. Got to know what's got me here. And if you're sending out notifications, I greatly appreciate it when YouTube is actually fucking working. Yeah. Oh joy. Thank you, YouTube, for finally sending out a notification. Which would I pick? Well, that's a quite, like, are you asking more from, like, which one would I like to be in, or which one? Because thing is, that answer boils down to which one would I have the highest chance of survival. If it's like, if I'm choosing, I'm not choosing because of the one I like the most, like the style. I'm choosing the one that gives me the highest likelihood of not fucking dying. Like, that's the one I'd be picking. So I don't know if if you actually want me to answer that correctly. High chance of survival? Probably Praetorian Guard? Although they don't really have a none of them have like a high chance of survival. They all have an extremely low chance. The only reason I'd say Praetorian Guard is at least they like stay in close-knit quartered like units. So at the very least, if you're gonna die, you have like a 1 in 10 chance of the guys next to you who are all, you know, lining up for volley fire with the las guns. And at the very most, you know, you might get a cushy position protecting a planetary governor and not actually having to fight. Because I mean, you might actually end up with noble birth, you know, potentially with Praetorian Guard. It's a slim chance, but it's there, you know. It exists. It's present. It's unlikely, but it's present. In terms of guard regimen, I'd be like fucking down for, you know. I'd be like in the zone, like take survivability and actually living in the group aside. If we're just going pure like personality, it'd either be Krieg, solely because at least, you know, they're convicted in what they're not convicted. Well, that could work as a word, but not the one I meant. They're invested. They're incredibly invested. That might be a bit of an understatement, but they're incredibly invested. So, at least you'd be working with some guys who care about the job. You know, you go out, you know, you get killed while shanking a guy with a shovel. But at least, you know, everybody cared about the job. Rather, you know, that sounds a lot nicer than being, I don't know, amongst the fucking Vestroyans, and I don't know, maybe a good chunk of them are doing it because they have to. Not really eager to die for the Emperor, you know. The lack of enthusiasm could kind of kill the mood, you know what I'm saying? That's just my idea about it. Where was I? Oh, yes. I was in the middle of... I think I more or less got the frame of the torso here down. So I think I can add the limbs. See, it's in my fucking head. It's in my fucking head. You don't leave me alone. I'm guessing moving on to the arms. This is where stuff stops being symmetrical. Actually, before I add too much, probably a good idea to save. That way I don't fuck it up. That would suck. That would not be cash money. That'd be not cash money. That's what that would be. Okay. Catachan would suck major. I mean, yeah, because the likelihood you'd even survive the training phase is extremely low. Hell, surviving your birth is a low likelihood. You are not looking at high odds on that one, I'm afraid. Pretty low odds overall. Okay. Actually, I should probably do the lower arms first because they're more interior. So let's do this. Sad Cashman. But on the other hand, at least if you do, in the most optimistic scenario, survive your birth, then survive your childhood, which is like, the thing is, being born on Catachan is like an ever increasing, like, it's like being born in like a Souls setting, like a Dark Souls setting. Is that probably not as grim in terms of like actual like visual lighting, because Catachan's supposed to be like a really big jungle planet, like it's supposed to be like fervent with life and sunlight. So bright, you know, at least you get to see some like saturated greens and, you know, beautiful mornings, probably really powerful sunlight. But the Souls-like aspect would come in the fact that the difficulty level, like your birth is like base difficulty level. Your childhood is like being on deprived. And then the difficulty goes down if you survive that, because you will inherently gain the skills necessary to kick ass and take names, at least on a base level, against the local fauna and fucking monsters. So there's something there. It's just low, like, it's just still, no matter what, you're still playing a Souls game, but at least, you know, if you make it past stage 2, you got a shot, you know. It ain't the end. Like, you're there, you know. You're looking at the finish line. Especially since, like, can you imagine how Catachan soldiers feel when they get that call? It's like, soldiers, we're sending you to battle. In the middle of strangling a giant plant that's choking them out from the side and trying to shank them with their own knife. Yes, sir. Where are we being deployed? Somewhere else. Alright, sir. Just give me a second. Kill the fucking plant. They get off world. They show up to like an orc-infested planet. And all the locals are like, it's the end of the world. The orc menace, the greenskins have come to destroy us all. And Katchan walk off like, guys, it's like vacation. Jeez, these orcs are so straightforward. They're just trying to kill me. And they're not even doing anything crazy. Get a lot of this. It is great. I just should have brought my suntan lotion. It's just like one afternoon, like the worst thing ever for Catachan guard is if they get a letter, if they get so injured in battle, they get like that notice of, you know, alright, we're sending you home, soldier. You fought well. Wait, what? Yeah, you're being sent home. Congrats. You fought for the Emperor. You did yourself proud. You did what nearly no single guardsman is capable of and survived this horrendous... No, sir, please. I'll do anything. Please, leave me on deployment. Don't send me home. I'm gonna die. I don't want to die. I want to live. Okay. That was a bit of a tangent, but it is kind of funny to think about. Like, they got, like, the worst luck on that regard. Okay. Alright, so smaller, daintier arms. Here's the first one. Alright, we'll do this. First one. And... guys only orcs. Guys only orcs. What? Like, when you say only orcs, are you going for like an OnlyFans joke, or am I missing something? I can't tell what you're trying to say. Macarians never go home. Once undeployment, they go find something fun to put their las guns to, protecting pilgrims, getting involved in crusades. I mean, yeah, you gotta have a hobby. Confused Macarian noises. Ah! Don't send me home! What are you, crazy? Don't be like that, you bastards. Keep me here on the front lines where I want to die. The right way, you know? Oh, so how's the brute looking so far? We got the head's not quite done. I'm gonna be connecting elements of it to the rest of the body once it's being finalized. Because, you know, the fleshiness is like interconnected all around. But the frame of the head is done, and the frame of the body is done. It's mostly just detailing for that. And now, of course, I'm adding the more limbs, which are going to be plenty of work on their own. Mr. Bitey. Pierce already nicknamed him Bob. Bob the Brute. Or like a little bit of alliteration there. That's alliteration. Actually, I could have the lower arms. Nah, because it would look weird if they were in like an identical frame. Alright, we'll just have to... Technically, in person, the answer is no. But I can also answer yes, for I have met you online, and through voice chat, and numerous video games where you stalk me. So yes, and no, all at the same time. The power of interpretation. Blocking out where everything's gonna be limb-wise. Hold on, I want to check my my test print. It's hard to make out how well it's printing, but it seems to be printing. I mean, it's there. Keeping my eye on it, making sure it ain't going rogue. Okay, got those in place. And the upsides with the hands is they're gonna be straightforward as hell, since these things only have 3 fuck off fingers. Again, it's stuck in my fucking head. I don't know why. Get out of mine head. Damn you, 18. Free me from this prison. Whatever, this should be fine. It's always kind of funny seeing the limbs being blocked out in geometry form, because when they're all combined and polymorphed and meshed, they always look wickedly different. Not fingers, tenderizers. Gotta think about it logically. For living in your head. Problem is, I can think of a lot of catchy songs, and all of them are somewhat good, and they have to be catchy. That or have a really just infectious tune. Alright. Now it's time to add the fingies. Sort of. Thank you, Matt Gordon, for the $20. Thank you for the glaive chest. I appreciate it. Thank you for the generosity, man. Thank you. I always appreciate the generosity. Thank you. Both me and the project, thank you greatly. Guess on that one he's actually got more from like that. Oh no, it's still be like... Actually, it's more like that. No, it's still like that. Huh. I'm a tenderizes. Tenderizes. Oy, oy. Oh great. Now another theme song jumped in my head. The What's New Scooby-Doo theme song. What is with my head today? I'm mindlessly well, not mindlessly, but I'm hyper focusing on work, and just one part of my brain is just taking advantage and being like, fuck it, man, let's put a disco in here of all the nostalgia shit. It's like, can you put that back in the bin? No need to pull out the old records. It's like, nah, man, vinyl. First we had A-Team, now we're going, What's New Scooby-Doo, man? What more random shit can we play in Asmo's head today? It's a challenge. You gaslighting me? Sorry, fam. Huh? How you been gaslighting me? It's been all about what's so screwy. Okay. So you're trying to distract yourself? I don't know if I'm trying to distract. Well, my one part of my brain is definitely trying to do that. Wouldn't have pegged it to be What's New Scooby-Doo, but here we are. Here we are. Valiant Vil. Well, normally I do, but I don't have a good butt. I just haven't done that so far. Not the worst thing to have in my head, I suppose. Okay, almost ready to begin. I mean, yeah, it all of it starts out as basic geometry and polygons, and you just sculpt it. And I guess, hold on. For me, I definitely was a lot of yes, brain. Great job there, enunciating what I wanted to say. When I was first learning how to do this stuff, I was extremely impressed with how fast a lot of my seniors in school could really like hammer out some impressive models in sculpting software like ZBrush or even geometric hard surface models like mechs and robots and stuff, and in things like 3ds Max or Maya. Now, I was really impressed, but once I actually started doing it, I caught up to a lot of my peers. My peers, I should say, not my seniors. My seniors were obviously always ahead of us because, you know, they were doing classes we weren't when we were doing classes they had done. But with my peers, you know, I caught up and surpassed a chunk of them while I was at school, because it's stuff that came naturally to me. And a lot of this it will come naturally to you. The hardest barrier to entry when it comes to 3D modeling and animation and this kind of art form, especially the digital side of it, is, well, having done the real world equivalent. I think a lot of people underestimate, like, the use, like, the amount of things that you carry over from real world clay sculpting to sculpting like a 3D model. There's a lot of the same principles are there. I mean, in school, if you take art classes, I didn't take too many. I just took basic art in high school. I never took like a college course or anything in it. But I know for a fact that in the high school classes I took, they had us do a clay course, and the clay we did, they started us off with geometric shapes of clay. Cubes, spheres, cylinders. Well, not really cylinders, but cubes and spheres. And you would just nip away at that, you'd shape it, you'd morph it, you'd alter it until it looked like the thing you wanted it to look like. And yeah, in my case, when I first started doing this kind of stuff in ZBrush and in Maya and 3ds Max, I had that core principle already nailed in my head, you know, like, alright, start with geometric shapes, then mush them together. The side that is really hard for a lot of people, and is the main barrier of entry for this kind of stuff, is translating those principles and skills into the digital format. Because obviously, all of that stuff you have to tell a computer program to do. It's not like you have a direct manual control over an actual piece of clay. You have a digital polygon that's imitating clay to allow you to take those artistic practices and implement them on a digital equivalent. But the inputs and the tech and that initial translation into the technological digital format of it is very hard to do. A lot of people who might be amazing, talented, and gifted 3D sculptors in the sense of clay will probably or possibly never understand how to translate it into a digital format like ZBrush or Blender or Maya or 3ds Max. It's just there is a fundamental break between the two. When you transcend might be the wrong word because it gives the implication that it's an upgrade, but when you transfer from physical art to digital, like I said before, it's a translation. It's like a language. You're learning. It's like going from speaking English to trying to learn Latin, or it's like going from Spanish and you're trying to learn German. Like it's you have to put so much time and effort and practice simply in not only relearning some things, but also understanding principally what differs between the digital and the physical. When I say it like that, it sounds like this like grandiose thing, but realistically, it's much more complex to describe than it is to do. Much like learning a language. Like, you can describe learning a language to somebody, like, verbally and in extensive detail, but it will always sound more complicated than to just do it. Like, if you just throw someone who speaks English into Mexico, well, there's some other dangers there, but if you took someone in one environment and throw them into another where they have where one core fundamental thing is how to speak to people is completely different, they're going to be forced to, you know, change their ways and adapt. And much the same way, you got to do that if you are truly meaning to learn how to do a digital form of an art that you can do traditionally. It's kind of the same idea. You just got to throw yourself into it. And when it gets tough, don't just throw in the towel, but keep hammering away at it. Just keep practicing and learning and practicing, taking the principles, understanding why they work in one way and how they work in the other. It's a giant game of repetition. Well, yes, you can also do that. Yes, too. You can sit there and just be impressed, I suppose. Two different kettles of fish. Yeah. I mean, for me, again, there's a lot of things that still carry over between the two, but for as many similarities, there will always be the same. For me, anyway, it's the same number of differences as the same number of similarities. The principles and the execution are much the same between physical clay and digital clay. It's the inputs and the digital language, if you will, that's so different between the real and the digital that's where like anyone will struggle, and I think that goes for anything. Yeah, different tool sets. That's one way to put it. Yeah. I don't know. For me, it's always harder to explain than it is to show. It's always easier to show when it comes to this stuff than it is to explain. But that's me. I don't know if that's everybody. In fact, I don't think that's everybody. turn off symmetry now, because this is where things, like I said earlier, go rogue. Thing is, it's really, I stand by this, it's much easier to sculpt a model that you're prepping for animation, because you can do T or Y pose, so you can do a lot of shit symmetrical and mirrored over. It's when you go off the beaten path and stop doing symmetry stuff that things get difficult. Well, as difficult as you make it, and there's a lot of ways to, like, go easy on yourself with this shit. But I'm me. I'm not known for that within myself. Okay.
running out of time.
So if we do dynamic 3D, that's pretty good. I gotta get ready to, because the thing is, my family are grabbing dinner. We're not going super far. We're going like up the road. There's a place. It's not open year round. It's like a mom and pop shop. In fact, they're not normally open during the winter, but they're open for the next like 2 weeks for some reason. The owners run the place, so I get a chance to ask while I'm there. But point is, they're open, and we were hoping to go grab some dinner. So I gotta head and do that. Like I said, it was something unexpected. I thought my family were just kind of eating in and doing stuff like that. But nope, we've got plans tonight. So I can only fit an hour and a half in for this. I haven't heard anyone knock on my door, so I might still have a few minutes, but I'm not gonna wait for that knock on the door. I want to make sure because obviously this isn't like I don't need to like dress up and, you know, look all fancy and stuff, but perhaps hooded flannel isn't oh well, might be. Either way, I still gotta take a shower. I am gonna take a shower. At the very least, I gotta do that. It can be a variable distance. Up the road, it's about a 10-15 minute drive from where we live. Which is up the road for us. It's I live in the forest, more or less. I live out in the sticks. So, not a shit ton of stuff going on around here. But when that mom and pop shop, they make really good food. So, it's not like a big fancy restaurant. It's an old barn they turned into a restaurant. It is insulated and nice. Like they've done a pretty good job. But yeah, basically envision like an old school cattle barn, but refurbished into a restaurant. And completely, like, there's no hay on the ground, like, it's a tiled floor, like, it's just the old wooden frame of the house that they've insulated, rewired, and set up a kitchen out back. Like, it's actually really neat stuff what they did with it. And they're only open a couple times each year, and they make bank. But, yeah, we're gonna get food. So I'm gonna get ready, I'm gonna toss myself in the shower, take a very quick one, and then we're gonna head out, and I'm gonna come back, and, considering it's 8 o'clock at night, they're gonna close at 10, so probably by the time I get back, I'm gonna be stuffed full of food, and I'm gonna pass out. And, I got my productivity in today, so that won't keep me up when I'm trying to sleep. But before I go, what do you guys think? How's it, coming along? I can show you guys the concept photos real quick. That's the Brute's frame thus far, and pulling up the image of the bastard. Yeah. Like I said, it's gonna get more. The head's gonna get more dynamic than that. That's just the base frame I'm working off of. That was a bit crooked. I can fix that later. Well, to be fair, the whole thing is supposed to look a little odd. But, I see what you mean. I think. Alright, I'm gonna save off. Looks good. Oh, pretty good. Off to a good start. Yeah. I like where I'm at so far. It's gonna be fun to finish them off in a bit. Not tonight, obviously, but neck part is connected, and I'll have a sickeningly wide grin. Yeah, I gotta do that still, but that'll be later. Yeah, that's gonna be weird to do, but it'll look nice when it's done. Yeah, for now, it's got almost like a Pumpkinhead frame. Like, for those of you who know the horror movie Pumpkinhead, he's got kind of that bod, although I guess he's a little more chunky than Pumpkinhead is. But other than that, it's like that similar like slouch. But yeah, he will grow to become more like the image you guys see right above me. That's the what we're looking for the end goal. That's the concept art. But for now, this is like the starting frame, if you will. Anyway, I gotta go, so I will catch you guys later. I might make a quick like YouTube post before I hop in the shower, but other than that, like I gotta go. So